Who in this room has lived in Florida for a majority of their lives? Well, regardless, today I'm going to tell you about why I believe that Florida is one of, if not, the best places to live in the United States. Deciding where to start a life with a family is a big decision for many people in life. So throughout this speech, I'm going to explain why I believe that when it comes time for you to choose where to live, you'll consider Florida too. And who better to speak about the beauties of Florida than someone who has lived here my whole life, like myself? The main reasons that I believe Florida is the best place to live is because of its beautiful weather and famous Florida beaches, along with a great economy and no state income tax as opposed to some other states. Lastly, regardless of where you are in the state, you will find great cultural diversity and a heavy sports atmosphere. But if sports is not for you, there is still plenty to do here. To begin with, sometime in the near future for all of us, after college, we will be forced to make a decision of where we want to live for our current future. While this is a tough decision, hopefully if you consider these points, then it will make the decision easier. Imagine living in a place where it is sunny almost 200 days per year and where the furthest beaches from you is at most 3 hours away. That is the reality of living in Florida, according to currentresults.com. With plenty of nationally accredited beaches such as Pensacola Beach, Clearwater Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach, and Miami Beach, among others, Florida has it all when it comes to beaches, which is why it is also such a tourist spot as well. This is all important information to know because as college kids we'll be forced to decide where we want to work and where we want to live right after graduating. So knowing this information is very pivotal for making the right decision that suits the individual. Moving on to my next point, another reason that I believe living in Florida is a no-brainer is due to the heavily driven tourist economy, which is constantly on the uprise in Florida, and the fact that there is no state income tax like some of the other states around the country. This is an obvious reason to live in Florida for me. In fact, it causes many people to move here as well, mainly because the cost of living is extremely less than other states, and that is mainly due to its tourist-driven economy. This is why many people move to Florida when they want to start a family, so they know that their money is well spent and they will not have to pay outrageous tax prices and can have a stable economy to keep their funds safe. According to stateofflorida.com, Florida ranks among one of the lowest states for tax percentage at 6%, while Louisiana, for example, has a tax rate of almost 10%. Opposing viewpoints would say that tourists ruin Florida or that there are too many tourists, but to argue that point, I would say that tourists only come for summer months when they know it'll be warm. But even in the colder months, Florida is not even that cold. So you'll still have warm weather, and a lack of tourists for most of the year due to the fact that they don't understand that in Florida, winter is never below 50 degrees. Even if you aren't one for beaches, one cannot deny that Florida is one of the hot spots for cultural diversity throughout the United States, with people flocking not only from the country, but from all around the world to see what Florida has to offer. And looking into the future, things only seem to be going up. According to visitflorida.com, many Greeks, Spaniards, Cubans, and Native Americans have all left their footprint on Florida, and many of these cultures still have a heavy presence here as well, better signifying that Florida is constantly changing as a state for the better. The more cultural diversity that the state sees, the more people want to visit or move here, which in turn only gives back to the state and the economy. This is the reason that there is so much to do in Florida. There are so many different cultures at work in the state, and it is impossible to get out and experience all of them without taking years to do so. But in doing so, it gives the individual a taste of life in other places without even leaving Florida. In conclusion, I have laid out why I believe that Florida is one of the best places to live due to its beautiful beaches and weather, the economy, and lack of income tax, and great cultural diversity in the state provides endless opportunities to get out and have fun and explore. So I challenge you all to think hard about where you want to live after graduation and consider what I've told you regarding Florida, and I'm sure you will make the right choice. As I said, I have been a Florida resident since I was born, and I don't see that changing in the future for me. So again, I may be a bit biased on the subject, but I think Florida is the way to go.